Oh, hello, and welcome to the behind the scenes of Marketecture Live 3. I am here, and I'm Jeremy Bloom, co-founder and CEO of Marketecture. I'm here with Scott Ensign. Scott, you are at Butler Till. You are crushing it right now.
Oh, thank you.
You told me about your growth. So we, behind the scenes, had a coffee a couple of weeks back, and you were telling me just about the growth of Butler Till. And I love hearing about that from an indie agency perspective, and also female-owned. You've been there for a bit.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump in.
Yeah, I've been on the digital media agency side for a while. As you mentioned, I've been at Butler Till for just over 7 years. And so I lead strategy there, which is a great job. As you mentioned, 100% employee-owned independent agency.
Love that.
100% female-owned, and we're a certified B Corporation. So really kind of a unique culture, a great place to work. As you mentioned, indies are having a little bit of a moment right now. And so our growth has been really great for our people over the last few years, and that looks to be continuing.
Well, here we are talking about growth. We're talking about strategy. Behind us, we've got Tatari. So growth, strategy, CTV. This is not a commercial for Tatari by any means, but just was a good tie-in.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit more just when it comes to a strategic sense, how you're evaluating the CTV ecosystem when you have performance on this side, you have brand building on the other.
Yeah.
How do you think about this?
So I like to say we were doing CTV before it was cool, a number of years ago. And so Butler Till, our positioning has really always been more of a independent digital media agency. And so there's a couple of sides of our business, scaled local media, and then there's health and pharma. And we've really grown and made a reputation on being the digital provider for a lot of larger brands who are doing marketing in those areas. And so CTV is something that we really jumped on very early. So we have a lot of experience, basically since it became available to us. And because of our heritage really as a more digital first agency, that's always been a little bit more of an audience play for us. And so, as you know, the space has kind of swung back and forth between audience first, audience only, kind of back to like a little bit of direct and premium and quality. And I feel like it's going to settle ultimately somewhere in the middle because both of those things are very important.
So when we think about settling somewhere in the middle, how do you factor in targeting and personalization?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we have a lot of very locally relevant brands. We have a lot of health and pharma brands. And so both of those things, scale is important, reach is important, but in a very, very particular specific audience, or in some cases, a geographic location. And so when we think about reach, we're thinking about reach within an audience that is hyper relevant to the brand. So we're not doing what you would consider more conventional mass market. So obviously we have quality standards that we adhere to. We're a media agency where as show up on behalf of our clients is kind of job one for us. But ultimately, the reach for us is really only important if we're reaching precisely the right audience. So there's a lot of personalization and precision in that sense because we have to only appear in front of the audience for which these messages are really relevant.
So how are you helping your clients think through AI and automation, just the innovation and changes that are taking place both today and forward thinking for the next couple of years?
Yeah, so one of the things that we've been doing for a while is we created innovation funds for our clients. And so
love this.
We get contributions from partners instead of just getting money back from partners, instead of even just shipping that back to clients, although if the clients want us to do that, we will. We put them in a fund for them. And so that allows us to test things that are a little bit ahead of the curve. As you know, planning cycles are kind of resistant to innovation. You tend to do stuff that's tried and true, that's performant, that we know like, hey, A plus B equals C on the ROI, and we can predict that exactly. But we know that a lot of these things that are coming up now, like agentic and AI, as you mentioned, are going to require a little bit more of a sporty approach and some speculative work. And so those funds allow us to do that for our clients. So that's where, for me, that's where the fun stuff is.
There's a lot of fun involved with that. You had specifically mentioned just the historical component of planning ahead, so to speak, when it comes to TV.
Yeah.
In this day and age, how are your clients thinking about modern TV and the video strategy when you have the innovation funds, and then you also probably have some clients that are planning for the year versus those sport focused where it's just sprints?
Yep. So, as I mentioned before, because of our background and heritage as more of a digital provider, like TV has really never been at the center of our media universe, as it has been for the industry for so long. So we've always thought about that a little differently. And the thing that I think is really interesting about what's going on in that space today is what we talk about all the time, the real evolution of entertainment media. And we have an approach called total play, which is like anywhere that your audience is consuming media in an entertainment context, you want to be there. So it doesn't matter. The consumer doesn't care. No one outside of the few hundred people in ad tech even think about CTV or know what that term means.
It's TV.
What they know is that they're being reached in an entertainment context. So that can be certainly streaming and CTV. It can be online video. It can be a podcast or streaming audio. It can be sitting on their phone playing a game while they're doing maybe both of those other things at the same time.
It's real life.
Our approach is not so much kind of like one-to-one TV was this and now it's CTV. It's really entertainment is just exploded and expanded into so many other spaces, and we want to be there on behalf of our clients.
Scott, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.